Success is the child of drudgery and perseverance. It cannot be coaxed or bribed. Pay the price, and it's yours. Orison Swett Marden. My friends, 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. That is your drudgery. That is your perseverance. If you will do this, if you will train with us, if you will learn what we have to teach and add to it, everything else you're interested in, you've read and you've practiced, you will come up with your own style. It could be a lot different than what we teach. It could be very similar, but it'll be your own. It'll be based on the things you're interested in trading. I'm going to attach today a fascinating article, Robert Kiyosaki talking about how he is rebalancing his portfolio. Much, much different than what you typically hear. I don't offer it up as any advice. I just offer it up for food for thought. But I will be including that link in the show notes. If you're a subscriber, of course, you get our links every day. We email them to you. If you're not, become one. It's free. That list is never sold, never spammed. And Patreon members, thank you so much. As we finish up this year, for all of your support, look for even bigger and better things this next year. Let's jump into these charts. Everything up for the day except gold. Look at the S&P 500 as we start. We've redrawn our trend line for the new week. Now, as we look at this week, we can see the high, the first day in this shortened 4-day week, 476.58. Last week, 475.90. So we've hit a little bit higher high up in the morning, a little further up in the afternoon. We look at both the 2-day, nice higher candle, a little bigger than the last two candles. And of course, this is the first day of this latest 2-day candle. We can see the 2-day and the half-day well above, well, particularly the half-day, well above the weekly trend line. Remember, we draw our trend lines on the weekly chart. The way we have our charts set up is they reflect the same thing on the smaller charts. This is our weekly chart, 2-day chart, half day. We use the weekly chart for the change in trend where we jump into our trades. We don't trade off the small chart. A lot of people who do, day traders and all that, they're looking for anomalies in the market. We're the opposite. We're not looking for anomalies. We're looking for big trends, because with big trends, there's big money in your practice trade. So we see the S&P up 0.42% going in the right direction, going up a little bit more, 0.61%. And again, this is just a little over 0.6%. So these aren't great big moves. But again, as we start off this last week of the trading year, and again, this Santa Claus rally just sort of continues. So we'll see how long it goes. We can see here, the last week it was 410.47, the high this week, 411.56. So again, the NASDAQ 100 reaching a higher high. Decent little candle forming first day of the latest 2-day, up in the morning, further up in the afternoon on the half-day, above the weekly trend lines on the 2-day and the half-day chart. Things continuing to move in the right direction. Not a lot of volume, but we don't expect a lot of volume this week. Okay volume last week as we went up higher, so that was good to see. We'll see how much higher things go. Now let's go over to bonds. Now bonds do seem to be slowing. You can see it here where they popped up and we've just sort of slid along sideways for 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Got a doji forming there. Got a spinning topper doji in the morning and afternoon. Again, it was up 0.29%, not reaching a higher high first day of this. And see this red volume? Doesn't mean the volume's negative. It means that we opened lower than the prior close. That's all these red volumes mean. And it's because that's the way we set it up. If we go to, see if I can do this on the fly. I'm trying to remember how to, right here under settings. We open it up. You can see we checked. Now, if you watch, like over here, when I click that off, it goes to green. So color is based on the previous close. Moving average is 20. That's 20 periods, not 20 days. If it's on a daily chart, it'd be 20 days. If it's on the weekly chart, it'd be 20 weeks. You can see we have the style set up, the visibility. And again, that's just our simple volume chart. So as we look at what's happening, you can see this sideways slide. What is going on with 20-year bonds? Are they topping out, or are they just digesting those prior gains, getting ready to go up again? We don't know. We've seen in the past where bonds have bounced off this purple line, and again, got a ways to go before it gets up there. So we'll keep our eye on things and see just how high bonds go. Let's move on to gold. Now look at gold again, talking about a topping out point, this purple line. We like to keep up where things have been before. Now we can see where we've touched up around this area in the past. Here and here. Again, we are right there at that level now. What is gold going to do? It's going to push through it and just surge higher. That'd be great. For the day alone, it was up 0.76%. But could it be topping out possibly and rolling over? Well, we've seen it push up around this same area and then go back down, push up a little above it and go back down. We'll see. Third time might be the charm here most recently. If it is, great. If not, we'll be waiting to see it bounce off and head down. We do see on the half day and the 2-day decently above that weekly trend line that we redrew based upon today's new forming candle. Lastly, we'll go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is down. Now we've seen it pull down, pop up, pull down, pop up, and now we're going back down to around that weekly trend line on the half day. Same on the 2-day. In fact, we can see we just barely pushed through that line on the first day of this latest 2-day candle. Not much of a line there, friends. I mean, that is not quite flat. It's nothing like the lines we had here before. So we will keep an eye on things and see if indeed Bitcoin is topping out. We've seen it do that in the past over the course of this last year as it's popped up and rolled over. But see, we saw it come up, slide sideways, then it popped up again. So not sure what Bitcoin is going to do. But of course, if you jumped into it when it took off this last time, I'm sure you're still holding on, hoping that in this practice trade, it's going to keep going up. That is where we are, my friends, as we cover our 5 charts. And we continue to push through this shortened trading week. Hope all of you had a great holiday, a happy, Merry Christmas, and before that, a great Hanukkah as we move into the new year. If you would like to bless us with a gift at the end of the year and yourself, encourage you to become a Patreon supporter. First thing you're going to get as you start this new year is Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way 3-part series. It's immediately emailed to you when you sign up at any of the 3 levels of support. And of course, each and every week, you get the Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies early. You get, just as a Patreon member, we don't send this out to anyone else, the 3-wave trades plus the weekly vertical crossovers where we look at stocks going on the S&P 500 from red to green or green to red. And those of you who've been following that, you know how helpful that can be in your practice trades. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.